Hello, hello, and welcome to ohmTown Daily, the news show powered by ohmTown.com. Today is May 6th, 2024. Yep, time machine is turned off. This is season 3, episode 127. Today we're going to be talking about a Caterpillar robot, a possible new Apple Pencil, the SEC Crypto Crackdown. How about, can you, return those bitcoins? Yeah, I'd really like that. How about a candy recall in 17 states? Or Fisker continues to get fisked. Bethesda Fans, live snake collecting, Wichita shuts down network, and Eye on August 8th simulator. Oh, you're going to sink some serious hours into that one. All of it's powered by ohmTown.com. So, I just realized something. Hold on a second. Right. Don't worry, this is how the sausage is made, folks. There. Okay. So, got all 10 already lined up. So let's just get chugging along. I am Mayor Watt, and all around me is the sentient AI from the future.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to ohmTown Daily.
And in a feat of pre-planning, I'm going to throw all of the articles into the VOD right at the beginning of the show. So at least they're there. And if you want to follow them, you can go and get them. But they'll be in the show notes over at YouTube and in the show notes of the podcast. But yeah, for the first time, I'm just going to throw them all at the very beginning of the shoe, and hopefully you can get them. If not, you'll have to go over to YouTube, because every 60 days the 61st day show or shows are wiped out. Yeah, kind of sucks.
I mean, come on, Twitch.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, Twitch. One job, right?
That's right. Think how many streamers they'd make happy, and even viewers.
Yeah, the infrastructure would be pretty massive to have to babysit all of those. But then I guess they would be direct competition to YouTube because then people could concentrate more on twitch.tv/ohmTown. All right, well, let's get into today's articles. The very first one is over in Technology Today. Engineers create a caterpillar-shaped robot that splits into segments, reassembles, hauls, and crawls. Engineers at the Princeton and the North Carolina State University have combined ancient paper folding and modern materials science to create a soft robot that bends and twists through mazes with ease. They couldn't just say origami?
No, this sounds more esoteric.
Gotcha. The article is actually from the Princeton University, but it's posted at techexplore.com, and there is said origami robot made of segments.
Okay, well, at least they didn't make it look freaky.
You know, there's another one of these bots that can break into its little individual components and go up ramps and over stairs and stuff like that, and I guess pull itself up. But it's made of spheres that connect, and I failed to highlight it in a previous episode, and I guess I really shouldn't have. I don't know, but I think there's competing segmented bots now.
I mean, this kind of looks like an accordion style, or like one of those play tube styles.
That was a hot ass there. Sorry. Yeah. You like the one that never mind. So soft robots can be challenging to guide because steering equipment often increases the robot's rigidity and cuts its flexibility, which I suppose increasing rigidity and is the same thing as cutting flexibility. Kind
I
of.
would think so.
I mean, in your imagination, do you think robot rigidity and it having flexibility are two separate
They seem
identities?
kind of mutually exclusive, but
Yeah. Well, anyway. Word count. The new design overcomes those problems by building the steering system directly into the robot's body, said Tuo Zhao, a postdoctoral researcher at Princeton. So I guess I shouldn't be saying anything since I am not a postdoctoral anything. In an article titled Modular Multi-Degree of Freedom Soft Origami Robots with Reprogrammable Electrothermal Actuation, published on May 6th in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, the researchers
do you think
described... What? I'm sorry? What was that?
it's enough? It's enough to follow the title of the article, let alone do the research that backs that up.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I got out of bed and I said that title for an article published in the Proceedings of the Proceedings, pardon me, not the Precedings, the Proceedings, the Precedings of the National Academy of Sciences are actually regressive science, and my understanding is that they're entirely housed in Wyoming. But the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences is progressive and is looking forward to changing out wooden wagon wheels. Anyway, the segments, which can operate independently or join to form a longer unit, all contribute to the robot's ability to move and steer. The new system allows the flexible robot to crawl forward, reverse, pick up cargo, assemble into longer formations, and once the sentient AI attaches itself, it will seek to overthrow humanity. It literally just hinted at the future. Join or you will be destroyed.
Right,
It
it's
didn't
like
actually say that.
assimilate.
Didn't say that, yes. Resistance is futile. So in this case, the researchers began by building their robot out of cylindrical segments featuring an origami form called the Kresling pattern. The pattern allows each segment to twist into a flattened disc and expand back into a cylinder. Basically, think cat tunnel.
Yes, that's what I meant with the play tunnels. So it could be for people or animals.
Cats, yeah. The pattern allows each segment to twist into a flattened disc and expand back into a cylinder. This twisting, expanding motion is the basis for the robot's ability to crawl and change direction. By partially folding a section of the cylinder, the researchers can introduce a lateral bend in a robot segment, and by combining these small bends, the robot changes direction as it moves forward. So kind of a snake.
I feel like it's kind of like an inchworm.
Yeah, that's probably closer. Not really a caterpillar. Well, no, a caterpillar. See, but a caterpillar actually has little feet, doesn't it? They have little, like an inchworm.
Yeah.
But this doesn't have actual, like, foot pads or anything really that sticks to the ground. So, you know, it's more like a snake. It just happens to be the segments.
Yeah, but they want to make
larger.
it cute and approachable.
Oh, well, put googly eyes on it.
That's right.
Let's keep going. The next article is over in Smack Talk. A new Apple Pencil is coming tomorrow. Here's what the rumors say. Mayor Watt will probably be giving a talk. Actually.
Oh, so you're going to miss it?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Apple will hold a special event on May 7th. Although the company doesn't usually discuss the topics of the event, the invitation artwork makes it clear that it'll be all about iPad. As we can see in Apple Pencil in it, after Apple's CEO Tim Apple hinted at a new pencil coming tomorrow, Apple's website also leaked the name Apple Pencil Pro, adding more fuel to the fire. Well, guess what Mayor Watt's going to be ordering? If not a whole new iPad, then
a gazillion Apple Pencil Pros.
Well,
Pencils Pro.
Yes, Apple's Pencils Pros. Philippe Esposito over at 9 to 5 Mac put this article together. I really want to do a show focused on Mac. That would be the Smack Talk show.
Smack Talk, yes. You mean the one you have the channel for?
The one I have the channel, yeah. Watashi. But unfortunately, I largely only work on the iPad now, and that would be a very niche show, even for a niche show on ohmTown.
This is an iPad. This is still an iPad.
Next week on Smack Talk, this is an iPad. Oh, look, we have a new entrant, the Apple Pencil Pro. Next week, we're going to talk about the Apple Pencil Pro and the iPad. Yeah. But when people are really passionate about a particular topic, then it shows. And so maybe it'll turn into Tablet Fan. Oh, wait, that's another show. Never mind. I'll just... You know what? I'll stick to my original intentions here and just do all 50 shows and not really be too niche. So the Apple Pencil 3 or Pro or whatever it's going to come dressed as, I hope doesn't have the dumbest charging method that could possibly imagine, which is sticking a USB-C connector inside its body where you have to slide out a little mechanism to connect it into the Pencil Pro. If it is this, then it's akin to the dumbest design for a mouse that anybody has ever seen on the planet. At one point, just so everybody's aware of this, Apple designed a mouse. This isn't an Apple mouse, but they designed a mouse where to charge it, you had to take your mouse and the charging cable, the lightning connector, and stick it into its belly button.
Which is like the only place you couldn't use the mouse, right? While it's charging.
So I don't know which brain dead engineer did that, but I don't know if they're still on payroll. And I really hope that they're not involved in the Apple Pencil Pro design, because I will go nuts if this is actually how I use my Apple Pencil on the daily. I have a very close relationship. As a matter of fact, it's sitting right here, has its own little magnetic holder so that it can charge on my iPad in its case. Come on, don't mess it up. Please don't mess this up. But there is a cheaper USB-C version that already exists, and I think it's the dumbest thing that I could possibly imagine coming into existence. You know what? Make it cheaper and then raise the price a little bit for the other ones so that the USB-C version is more accessible to other parties.
Right.
Because if I'm willing to buy if I'm willing to buy an Apple Pencil Pro, then 10 more bucks? Fine. That's fine. You know, whatever the cost is, add 10 more bucks. That's fine. Just lower the cost for the USB-C version. But my goodness, don't do a USB-C version in the first place. Just lower the cost for the contactless one, the wireless charging one, and raise the price for the Pro. I'm sure that there aren't that many sociopaths in the Apple ecosystem, but I could be wrong. I'm sure my email will not reflect anybody's sociopathy. Mayor at
You mean like the announcements or okay.
Complaints. So according to the rumors, a new Apple Pencil could feature Find My integration. This would help users easily track and find their lost Apple Pencil, just like with AirPods and AirTags. Some rumors also suggest the Apple Pencil 3 will feature interchangeable magnetic tips, but just the tip. 9to5Mac has also found multiple pieces of evidence suggesting that the new Apple Pencil will support a squeeze gesture of some, and that's basically the same kind of thing that you would experience, like conductivity on the surface of the pencil in a particular region. When if you press down on something, it's either piezoelectric or it is conductive alone. So when you put more of the pads of your fingers on a given area, there's more electrical conductivity, and that signals that a squeeze or something like that. Because right now there's a tap, single tap, double tap, to change the functionality of the pencil. I think that I would like some haptic feedback kind of a thing, but I think that it's going to be beyond. The battery is going to suffer if it has haptic anything. But Apple's homepage was updated on Monday with an Easter egg that also hints at a new Apple Pencil, so you can erase the artwork for tomorrow's event with the mouse cursor by swiping your finger across the image. This actually happens on PC and Mac on the apple.com website. It's pretty neat. So it's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. So
Why is it so early? I guess to account for different time zones.
the world can rejoice in a new Apple Pencil and iPad Pro models that are going to be M.2. What I really want them to do, it's probably going to be M3 for the iPad Pro, M2 for the others, and I really want an iPad mini. If they give me an iPad mini with some of the Pro features, resolution, response, then I'm going to be overcome with sweat.
Will that be your forever device?
It already is. The mini, I had the mini a long time ago and I really liked it, but I needed more space. And now I want a smaller one that I can take to like dinner or something like that and plop down and either play games with people or jot out notes and scribble, do drawings, edit photos, design things, hash out a new idea. Something, it's a lot of fun to just sit there and plop this thing down and everybody can partake. Just got to make it waterproof. So anyway, that's it for this article. Let's keep going. This next article is over in the Word in Law, and today's word in law is lawsuit. The SEC Crypto Crackdown continues with Robinhood as lawsuit looms. Continuing its crackdown on cryptocurrency exchanges, the SEC may potentially sue Robinhood Markets over securities violations alleged in the popular investing app's crypto unit, Robinhood Crypto said Monday. Yeah, they sent out notices and people all across the net are talking about it.
Well, I do think this is odd because I'm assuming they did a lot of coordination when they added cryptocurrency. So it's kind of curious, but I certainly don't know all the ins and outs of cryptocurrency regulations.
And depending on which circles you travel in, you hear a lot of rumblings about the shenanigans that Robinhood does with its trading platform. In a recent SEC filing, Robinhood Markets Chief Financial Officer Jason Warnick confirmed that Robinhood Crypto has received investigative subpoenas from the SEC regarding its cryptocurrency listings, custody of cryptocurrencies, and platform operations. I think this probably has a lot to do with a regulation coming to land on crypto because vast amounts of wealth are being lost and made, and criminal actions are churning real money through crypto to mask its real source. So they're washing the money. So
for example, anybody offering any kind of crypto exchange is potentially being investigated because somebody's doing something improper with the crypto.
And there's not enough checks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I do something illegal, I can buy crypto from some other exchange, transfer it into Robinhood. That part right there disconnects it from the criminal enterprise, because what is the source of the acquisition of the crypto? And then once it's crypto, it gets churned across the blockchain.
It's arguably untraceable. Yeah.
Right.
Even though I still think it is traceable, but
yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. Because there are people that are under investigation right now they're using AI actually to hunt down people who are doing illegal
like
activities.
Odd patterns and everything, right?
Yeah. Yep. So Robinhood accused SEC of creating a world of confusion around crypto, but I think that it's more along the lines of SEC wants to make sure that there is no confusion around crypto, because right now there is a lot of confusion. People who are investing in it really have no idea what the potential for losses are, because they see these out of range profits. But it's all from people who are talking about it from an either earlier start, where 10 cents is when they had it and they had 10,000 bitcoins, so now it's at $65,000, and they've lived through the boom and bust of it once before, when it went to 35,000, then collapsed to 17,000, now it's at 65,000. So actually, I haven't looked at it today. What's it at? 63. All right, well, I was close. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Horseshoes and hand grenades. So yeah, and nobody knows. Well, that's not true. The bulk of people don't know. I truly don't believe that a lot of people know that it's not FDIC insured. You could lose your shirt and your entire life savings. One mistake could lead to you transferring all of your wealth to the wrong person. You'll never see that money again. Try to hit Control Z on that, and that's not going to happen. You'll hear laughter.
Right. They're like, I already got the money. Thank you very much.
Yep. See ya. Bye-bye. If the SEC sues Robinhood, the SEC filing said that may involve a civil injunctive action, public administrative proceedings, and or a cease and desist proceeding. Potential remedies include an injunction, that cease and desist order, disgorgement, prejudgment interest, civil money penalties, censure, revocation, and limitations on activities. So,
is that all?
Yeah, nothing else really. But hey, at least they're not an auditor. Let's go on to the next article. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Oh, I was just about to copy and paste that into the chat, but guess what, folks? They're all at the beginning of the VOD. You can go and grab them from YouTube. If you come into the chat, you'll be able to see them. At some point, they disappear, but yeah, you'll be able to go over to YouTube and get the show notes after the show. So just concentrate on talking, hanging out in the chat. That'd be great.
This is so odd. I mean, who knew this was going to happen?
You mean a Bitcoin trader losing almost $70 million after sending crypto to wrong online account address?
Exactly. You just made a reference to it in the last article.
What? I did? Oh my gosh. So a cryptocurrency trader lost nearly $70 million in an address poisoning scam. Scammers made spoof accounts to trick the victim into sending funds to the fake address. Crypto-related scams are on the rise, costing investors almost $4 billion last year. This, by the way, was part of a conversation that took place in Mayor Watt's specific, I would say, 60 by 60 foot arena. This was an actual discussion about the fact that crypto is not pegged to anything productive. It has no inherent value. It has no physical space. It doesn't exist. It's ephemeral. So it's all risk. The reward is only when you sell your Bitcoin, trade it for real money, because that's what it's pegged to. So when I was sitting there talking to people about it, they were like, oh, wow, okay. And I have an actual ethical dilemma with this, because the US dollar today is worth a US dollar. Tomorrow, a US dollar is worth a US dollar. But if you do time value of money, it's all based on the GDP, the productivity of the country, whereas Bitcoin is pegged to the GDP of the US of the country, which is the US dollar's reserve currency and currency. And therefore, when somebody says, hey, I want to go buy a burger, you don't immediately go to, hey, I can buy that with a Bitcoin. No, you say,
right.
Oh, I've got to sell my Bitcoin so I can get $65,000 or $63,000 so I can get 6 of that so I can buy a burger. Yeah, there are some places that will take Bitcoin, but that isn't the predominant fiduciary instrument. So when somebody makes something as simple as a numeric glitch enable someone to transfer $70 million and there's essentially no recourse. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That reminds me of that other one where maybe that was something where
The
they were
deepfake.
spoofed or something, but we saw another article where somebody sent tons of money.
Yeah, the deepfake
Like
thing.
millions. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
He was deepfaked into believing that the CFO, again, the CFO, was essentially demanding that they cut certain checks to certain bank accounts. And so the person did it, thinking that the CFO was speaking to them, but it was actually a deepfake video, audio. Yeah, pretty powerful stuff there. Kenneth Nehmeyer over at businessinsider.com put the article together. Yeah, $4 billion last year. And you don't get that back.
And that is a lot of money, right? Well, that's the untraceable part, right?
Yep. Anything that goes by the name Serta K and then has a confirmed on Twitter that it had detected a transfer of $69.3 million worth of Bitcoin to an address linked with address poisoning probably it portends a bad outcome. So the victim's crypto wallet now shows a total loss of around 97% of its assets on Coinbase. The account is now worth just more than $1.6 million. PeckShield, another security firm, wrote on Twitter that the scammers traded the stolen Bitcoin for 23,000 Ethereum and then transferred the funds. There you go. This is money laundering. It has the potential to be money laundering, right?
I mean, if it was just somebody transferring Bitcoin or whatever, they wouldn't have necessarily had to transfer it again.
Yep. Ethereum's trading at $3,116 a coin. So they could have made... Well, first off, they stole the money. So they walked away with $70 million in Bitcoin. That's US dollars, by the way, because it doesn't have any value. That's why they say, look, $70 million worth of Bitcoin.
Right. They don't say $70 million worth of Bitcoin. I mean,
yeah, they don't say any value of Bitcoin. Yeah,
million Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin or whatever.
Exactly. It's always pegged to something else. You go into
I couldn't even say that because it was so contrary to how it's set up.
Yeah, you can't think that way, right? So yeah, a Bitcoin has no inherent value unless somebody translates it into Bitcoin, right? If I sit there and I go, hey, I've got 63,000 US dollars, that's worth one Bitcoin. So these people moved $69.3 million worth of Bitcoin into Ethereum. So they walked away with 23,000 Ethereum and then transferred the funds. So they got rid of it and now they're richer than sin. I mean, this is amazing. Trezor, another crypto trading platform, recommends double checking every address. Okay, wait. It's 8:32. No shit news. Thank you, Trezor, the trading platform that recommends double checking every address before sending a transaction and never copying an address from a transaction history. So these addresses are very crypto in and of themselves. It's not like, hey, send it to mayor@ohmTown.com.
Oh. Well, that's even worse, though, because it won't necessarily stand out if it's the wrong one.
Hold on. Let's see if I can... A Bitcoin wallet currently has an address between 26 and 35 characters, consists of an alphanumeric, basically a hash. And so you're going to end up never remembering it. That's why they actually ask you to use a wallet. If you throw your wallet in a landfill, guess what?
Yes, which has been done.
Yeah, they crypto-related fraud cost investors $3.94 billion last year. They're getting a little more precise as we move through this article. The best way to spot a crypto scam is to, don't do anything with crypto.
I was going to say avoid crypto.
But, fear of missing out. I would be a billionaire if I would have stayed with crypto when I first started mining it. after I noodled around with it, understood the technology, the whole principle of it, etc., I said this has no inherent value like gold. It's used in industry. It warrants investment. Silver, same thing. Other exotic minerals and materials, investing in something productive, or like I no longer invest in anything that is related to plastic manufacturing, so I switched to glass. There are certain ways that you can still be an ongoing concern and not have to invest in something like this. Anyway, I know that this is far afield from where we should be talking about this, but if you are involved in crypto and you make the wrong subtle move, you can lose your shirt and you'll never get it back. Well, you'll have to rebuild. But I guess,
Yeah, but you might not be able to do that depending on when you got in.
yeah, that's why they kept 3% of their portfolio, so that they can slowly grind back to, yeah, they're never getting 70 million back. I don't know. To me, it seems kind of fishy. So not just the whole, I think the whole thing sounds fishy, not just the oops transaction.
You mean crypto in general?
Well, I'll leave it alone. Other than I think that there's something odd about losing $70 million worth of crypto and blaming it on a copy pasta.
Oh, okay, got it.
So this oh god, I keep wanting to copy and paste this into the chat, but no, I'm not going to.
I don't know. You shouldn't copy and paste crypto addresses.
That's right. Oh, you know what? Here's one. I just pulled one up using Google. It's an example address. I'll throw it into the chat. So that is a crypto wallet ID. And so as a disclaimer, I put in there, don't use that. So it's just linked to a Motley Fool article, just so that you can see what a crypto wallet ID looks like. It's an address. You can send Bitcoin to it, and other people would send from it. At any rate, let's keep moving. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Candy recalled in 17 states over salmonella risk. I don't know how candy ends up with salmonella, but let's see what it is.
That doesn't even seem possible with what most candy is made of.
Right. And the temperature at which candy is typically made. But candy is a broad spectrum category. So the candy recall actually was posted by Matthew Impelli over at newsweek.com. The candy recall was issued this week in 17 different states over concerns that the products may be contaminated with salmonella. On Monday, KCAU TV in Sioux City, Iowa, reported that the Palmer Candy Company announced a recall for several different white-coated confectionery items due to the risk of salmonella. How it got in there.
First of all, what is white coating on a candy?
Yeah, it could be wax. Maybe it got contaminated. It says it was notified by a supplier that the liquid used to coat items in confection may be contaminated with salmonella, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is currently investigating. So those states that have this, these candies were sold in Walmart, Hy-Vee, Target, dollar stores across California, Florida, Alabama, Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, North Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, Oregon, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Virginia, Wisconsin, Texas, and Wyoming.
I mean, is that all?
That's all. Oh, I guess there's some more pictures. So, this is just a stock image. Doggone it. It's a Getty image. Shouldn't be like that. I mean, get something from Palmer Candy via its website if you're going to do that, and give credit.
Exactly, I mean, like from their brochure or something.
Yeah, just shrink it down, put a watermark on it, whatever you need to do, but make it a little bit more appropriate, because somebody's going to go, oh, look, chocolate-covered pretzels with sprinkles must be that, but it may not actually be that.
Right,
Um,
think how many good chocolate
see,
covered pretzels are going to go to waste because of that picture.
see, and they merged the two. They conflated the two. They say stock image of chocolate covered pretzels. A candy maker has recalled products, including several covered pretzels, for risk of salmonella. So they may not look like that, but I don't know. Maybe they were really close. So I assume that it's covered in chocolate, but it isn't categorized as chocolate, because if you have to categorize your coating as a liquid used to coat items, then it probably doesn't technically qualify as chocolate.
Is that like that pizza that's not pizza from SNL?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they talk about salmonella symptoms. Basically, if you have gastro related issues after you have eaten some candy that might be coated in white chocolate, it seems, because they say that it was white. They say a liquid, but higher up it says white,
I mean,
right?
that sounds like
White
white
coated.
chocolate or something similar to it.
Yeah, because white chocolate, my understanding is white chocolate can't be called chocolate because it doesn't have enough cocoa in it.
Well, that might be why they're referring to it as white instead of
So
white chocolate.
yeah, it's interesting though. So if you feel sick after eating, you could follow the link. There might be more data from this FDA.
I mean, I
No,
would
they
keep
don't.
the wrapper if you felt sick right after eating something.
Yeah. Um, but if you do feel sick, then, and it's a white chocolate covered pretzel or other material from the Palmer Candy Company, then you might want to go and talk to your doctor. If you're immunocompromised and you're feeling really bad, then just go to the ED and get checked out. It may take 8 hours,
Right, but it'll be quick.
but hey, could be worse. You could have sat there for over 12 hours and waited for the shift to change until you're noticed in the hallway. Fisker is closing its Manhattan Beach headquarters, employees say. This is aggregated into the ohmTown Daily show. They're closing down the Manhattan Beach headquarters, three sources told Business Insider. The company has warned multiple times that it might run out of money and could file for bankruptcy. Fisker's gone through a number of layoffs over the past few months and is kind of getting punched right in the Fisker. They've begun to close their Manhattan office, the site of the company's headquarters, according to three company sources. This does not bode well.
No, it doesn't. In fact, if I was working at Fisker right now, I think I'd be looking for another job rather than waiting to get laid off.
Yeah, see, I love their design, but man, they really shit the bed. Grace Key, or K, over at businessinsider.com put the article together. Somebody just divested their scratched or dented, actually their car door was hit.
That's right.
And they couldn't get parts for 30 days, and so their insurance company cut them a check for the full value of the car, just
I
in
mean, they
time.
really, yeah, the timing was spectacular.
But then, because they didn't learn their lesson, they bought a Tesla Model Y. So last month, the electric
Well,
car maker. Go ahead.
whether you're a fan of Tesla or not, Tesla is still in business. So,
Yeah, but if you dent that car, by the way, it's $5,000 too. So last month, the electric car maker began telling workers at the office in Manhattan Beach, California, that they might be moved to the company's site in La Palma, California by May 1st. Three workers with knowledge of the change told Business Insider. Now, that apparently is exactly what's going on. Two facilities are located about 40 miles apart in California. Fisker began leasing its 73,000 square foot headquarters in 2020. The La Palma site had been initially set up as a research and development space. Well, I guess not. They talked
yeah.
more about this, like on April 23rd. Fisker said in a regulatory filing that it's basically getting beaten up a couple of times. They looked at for additional funding or a potential buyer, which really provokes a confident response by those who are buying their vehicles or investing.
Yeah, what does that pitch look like?
Um, Save my ass, please. Oh, see, I want to compare it to other places, but in those other places, there was money that was leveraged to save that person's ass. So in April, Fisker CEO Henrik Fisker told staff that the company was in talks with 4 different automakers regarding a potential acquisition. But if there isn't anything there, they have designs, they have IP. That's about it, right? There's nothing competitive about the Fisker other than its designs, I think. I do
Right.
like their integration and stuff, but based on what we've read and talked about here in the show, they haven't even paid at least one person that did industrial design for them to the tune
Right.
of $13 million.
Right. So we don't have any idea what type of assets they actually have when you start subtracting out all their debt.
Yeah. And if you sit there and go, well, man, they have these 2 buildings and they've got it all decked out with their build out for manufacturing, hate to break it to everybody, unless somebody who buys them wants the exact same vehicle being tooled, you're not going to keep the equipment because you have to all of the tooling has to be remade, and that's millions of dollars. So why would you buy this unless you want to make Fisker brand cars? You better change and keep the skin, but change all of the working, because what everybody experienced was horrible software and bad manufacturing. But to me, I think they make sexy looking cars. I really do like their designs. But it seems like it was an external source based on the articles that we've talked about in the past.
Right. I still think they should have teamed up with another known manufacturer who could do the actual engineering.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what their attempt is, but I think they're going to fall on their face. Let's keep going. Oh, I got to stop doing the copy and paste. I'm going to throw it all in the beginning of the show, and we'll see if you can. If anybody's in chat and wants to go through and see if all of the links are there, then go for it. That would be great. The next article is over in the Warcrafter channel. Bethesda fans should keep an eye on August 8th. That's because QuakeCon is returning this summer from August 8th to 11th at Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center in Grapevine, Texas. Bethesda made the announcement on its webpage, promising an array of thrilling activities for gaming enthusiasts.
I think when this was submitted, the thinking was that it was coming up sooner than it was. So that was part of why it was submitted to the Daily Show.
Hey, August is right around the corner. Until then, you have a whole new simulator. It's not Starfield and it's not Fallout. It's not Skyrim, but you can sit here and just stare at the website. Oh, sorry. I was doing the open beta just now.
Were you staring at the website?
I was just staring at the website. So QuakeCon, known for LAN parties and gaming tournaments, returned to its live format in 2023 following COVID-19 era digital events, providing fans with a communal atmosphere. Dun, dun, dun. I used to love LAN parties. I used to grab my computer. I even made a strap for it so I could just keep everything together, keyboard, mouse, monitor, case, to grab the whole thing, throw it in the car, drive over to a friend's house, set it up, spread across multiple floors. Sometimes one person was a real goat. Well, actually, they were the son of a multimillionaire, and we would go to the office and play across multiple floors. So it was a blast. Most of the time we were in people's houses, but it was a lot of fun. It was when I was really, really young. Anyway, what's really neat about this is now you're going to be able to play LAN parties. But here's the real bummer about this. Live service really ruins this. Because if you have to attach to some live service, at some point they're going to kill the live service. So stop killing games, please. Give everybody a server that they can play on their local machine and allow them to open it up to remote access, so that, I mean, if Minecraft can do it, if countless other servers can do, or games can do it, every game can do it. But it's all about greed and control and manipulation and hosing people down for more money when the company gets tired of having the live service operating when it isn't profitable enough, you know? So, yeah. Oh, and they even mentioned it, Elder Scrolls Fallout. So now you're going to be able to go to a convention August 8th through 11th in Grapevine, Texas.
Do you think that's one of those locations that's near, like really near, I don't know what I'm trying to say, kind of like where they build crypto so that it operates faster?
Yeah, it's probably that. Yep. It's either that or it's out in the sticks, and they say that you're going to be wowed by all of the adventures you're going to have doing what? Walking around this massive complex. Right. No, it's actually, it's at the Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center in Grapevine, Texas. So I suppose that it's something in a more thriving area, kind of like how San Diego does the Comic-Con.
Like Comic-Con, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going though. I'm just kind of babbling and vamping. The next article is over in the Mobile Channel. Collecting live snakes in remote Amazon regions for study is no easy task, and here's how we do it. Brazil records an average of 29,000 snake bites a year, leading to around 130 deaths. And it is in the Amazon that the greatest number of cases occur, which is why I only buy from the Amazon. I don't go to the Amazon.
Right.
This region is home to 38 of 75 species of venomous snakes recorded in Brazil. So Paulo Sergio Bernard from The Conversation put the article together. That's actually an external site. You can actually go to theconversation.com. They have a podcast as well. Phys.org is where it was posted. Look at that. These are pretty.
Those snakes are beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
right.
They're really vibrant.
Bite you on your face while you're petting them. Oh, you're so pretty.
Right. You don't want to get up close to them.
Yep. So in the event of a snake bite in a remote area of the Amazon, some questions become very important. What is the composition of the venom? Do commercially available serums effectively neutralize this venom? Is there a distribution of these antivenoms? I think that's not venoms. Antivenoms? I think it's venin. Isn't it? I thought it's antivenin.
I thought it was anti-venom.
Yeah, antivenin is a refined and concentrated preparation of equine serum globulins obtained from from healthy horses, immunized with venom from 4 different species of pit vipers. It's actually a specific.
Oh, it's like a subset of anti-venom?
Apparently, it says antivenom, also known as antivenin. Interesting. Yeah. I'm conflicted in tell me, which way should I go? Anyway,
whatever way the article says.
It apparently really sucks because healthy horses are immunized with venom. All right. Well, anyway, we had an AI article a while back that did a massive information dive, and they looked at something like 250,000 drug combinations, it was DNA combinations to see what what was a common description of venom, and then it spit out 4 possible anti-venom solutions, one of which solved all venoms.
Right, it was like a communal anti-venom or something.
Yeah, so I don't know what the outcome of that ultimately was because they're doing the research on it, but it would be fascinating if they actually did discover the one across the board anti-venom. So to answer the questions, the first step is to study the venoms of snakes in the region. To do this, researchers need to have access to the snakes. So they go out and they actually do it. The project aims to gain more knowledge about the composition of Amazonian snake venoms and assess whether these venoms are recognized by commercial antivenoms. In addition, the project proposes adjuvant treatments administered in addition to primary therapy to maximize its effectiveness, such as the use of enzyme inhibitors, mainly to treat the local effects of the bite. Because when you get bit, sometimes it actually causes tissue death or necrosis, because enzymes start to decompose that area. And what's really interesting is I was once told that pineapple does a similar thing when you eat it. The enzyme actually breaks down when it breaks down things in your mouth when you eat it. Yeah. Pretty wild,
sounds
right?
Appetizing.
Yeah. So it says finally it says clarity, or I say clarify, right? The procedures for distributing antivenoms in remote areas of the Amazon. So I suspect drones will be involved in this. So when we find snakes,
you think the snakes strike at the drones, like if they get real close?
Oh, well, I don't know about this, but when they're going to drop the antivenom, yeah, they're like, hey, there's a drone coming in, and one jumps out of the tree, out of the canopy, and lands on the drone, so that...
Probably only in Australia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, drop snakes. Yeah, you don't want those. So they capture them and transport them in boxes to the university, where they're sent to the Butantan Institute in Sao Paulo for venom research, and on some expeditions they've captured more than 20 snakes. I wonder if they're
so
unique
what if
snakes.
that package gets misdirected?
Yeah, it ends up, I mean, it's Amazon, so it could end up in any place, right? You order some, I don't know, some seasoning for your... Yeah, and you end up with a box of snakes. Honey, your box of snakes are here. Elapids, a family of snakes with 41 species in Brazil, are represented in the region by true corals. The 6 true corals of the Alto Jurua belong to the genus Microrus. There's a bunch of them, subspecies or subgenus, right? But none of them have their venom in the pool for the production of the bivalent antilipid serum, which is made from the venom of the species M. corallinus E.M. frontalis, which I think is code for really big fangs, which do not occur in the Amazon. Pretty interesting. This goes much deeper into the article, but it basically just talks about the various kinds. But they're all captured, and then they draw the venom from them, and then they do various levels of experimentation on how it impacts various living animals. It's kind of tough to sample this. So let's keep going, though. The next article is over in Technology Today. The city of Wichita shuts down its IT network after a ransomware attack. The city of Wichita, Kansas, disclosed it was forced to shut down portions of its network after suffering a weekend ransom attack. Lawrence Abrams over at bleepingcomputer.com put the article together. In response to the attack, the city shut down its network to prevent the spread of the ransomware to other devices. Yeah.
It's always good when like entire cities are getting shut down.
Yeah, pretty good, huh? It says, in a rare display of transparency, the city confirmed they suffered an attack on Sunday, May 5th, when IT systems were encrypted with ransomware. We are completing a thorough review and assessment of this matter, including the potential impact on data. Detailed assessments of these types of incidents take time. That's true. But here's the problem. Everything that a city is typically doing, unless they're extremely well funded, everything is live, man. Everything that they're doing is live. There's no backup. There's no testing. The testing is live in one rack or something like that. It's very, very narrow band. what cities really need to do is have redundant systems that are they're protected from the live servers, but receive live data in periodic tranches, so that if you do get compromised, you can stop that flow and then shut down your old network, the one that's live, and move everything from your basically a reserve, a recovery network. It's very, very expensive to do this. So you're not going to see, millions of dollars spent on a small city. Although it says Wichita is the largest city in Kansas with a population of 400,000 people, that's still not that big compared to, Southern California or Florida or Texas cities. But I think the policy and procedure needs to change so that these type of attacks don't shut down. Even if you get compromised, you learn about it. Artificial intelligence is going to kick off in this as well. There should have been threat detection, intrusion detection, prevention systems. Who knows? I'm really curious because I want to know.
But they probably weren't in the budget, right? I mean,
right.
Some of these cities barely have enough to cover things that they probably view as more critical. Of course, what's more critical than keeping your systems and data up and running?
Yep, and cybersecurity analysts are very expensive, although, no, not for a long time. You're not going to get any downward pressure on wages for cybersecurity professionals for a considerable amount of time, because AI is just too stupid right now to defend a network wholly. But there are pieces of software out there that are pretty powerful, but and they certainly don't necessarily have a well outfitted security operations center. So that poses a huge problem because the people in a SOC really need to be skilled, trained specifically for various jobs within it, so that there's continuity of operations and recovery, mitigation, awareness. Somebody falls asleep, if you outsource it to some other country, if you outsource it to another state, they may not actually have enough awareness of your operation because it's just another gig. So I think it's really incumbent on the state to train and keep loyal to a local domestic SOC. But that actually flies in the face of industry, by the way. So a really good industry professional could be anywhere, but it's going to be expensive. So imagine your day-to-day operations get shut down. You have to leave them offline, costing millions of dollars potentially a day in total operational costs. And you don't have a plan to bring it back online immediately.
Right, and you may have lost critical data.
Yep. At this time, it's not known whether the data has been stolen. However, it's very common for ransomware gangs to steal data in compromised networks for days, if not weeks, before deploying their encryptors. And it just says that they're going to be going through with a fine-tooth comb, I'm sure. But I think that it's going to be a bitch to figure it out, because they may be able to find the hole, but they don't know where all everybody has been. Network forensics are fascinating, and not necessarily entirely telling. So anyway, best of luck, city of Wichita. Want to keep going?
Sure.
Our last article. Oops, wait a minute. Did I do both of these?
Well, that's the article we already did.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Hold on a second. I might have messed something up. One second.
We must be in a time loop.
Yeah, really. No. I guess today we're only going to have 9. Because I copied this twice. I guess. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can fix this real quick.
Well, let me see here.
I thought that there were 2. Yeah. Okay, here, let's grab this one. This is an interesting one because the New York City prisons will halt use of body cameras after device caught fire. I,
Oh, whoa.
this video is on fire. The New York City Department of Corrections said Sunday that it will temporarily suspend the use of body-worn cameras by its officers after one of the devices caught fire while in use last week. They said the department said one officer needed treatment for burns and smoke inhalation after her body camera caught on fire without warning while attached to her chest. You have to unlock these things, which means to get it off of you, just to get it off of you, you have to unlock it, right? To get your shirt
Right,
off, you have
and
to remove it.
maybe where it's right on fire.
Yeah, yep.
Like you're trying to touch the very part that's actively in flames or superheated.
Yep. So the article is over at The Hill. Nick Robertson put the article together, thehill.com. And yeah, they would, depending on how it's actually attached, I'm not sure if this is the exact same one. It says this is a file. A Los Angeles police officer wears an on-body camera during a demonstration for media in Los Angeles in 2014. So 10 years old. I don't know if this is still the same device that was being worn. 3,500 body cameras in use by the department since 2015. I'm sure this is a union thing where somebody said, somebody was injured, you better disengage all of them, which is, I guess, okay. I mean, how much abundance of care for a one-off accident, which could have been compromised by a drop earlier, puncturing the lithium-ion battery, causing it to catch fire.
See. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's a need for these, they shouldn't necessarily just take them all out of commission.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? 3,500 of the cameras in use by the department since 2015, Corrections said, describing the incident as completely unique. So why did they remove them all? Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Hopefully it was an easy to release camera, and like this one looks like it can just clip on like a lapel mic, but my understanding is some of them are harder to get off of you. That way nobody can just pull them off.
Well, exactly. I mean, it seems like there would be a benefit in being able to take it off easily, but I can see why they wouldn't want that to happen.
Yep. An investigation into the camera or why the camera caught fire, which includes contact with the manufacturer, is expected to last 1 to 2 weeks. So I guess we'll see a debrief later on. The New York Police Department has suspended the use of body cameras twice in the last 6 years over similar safety concerns, once in 2018 and once in 2021. It says after a camera caught fire and then after a camera exploded. It is the same cause. I guarantee it in both of these that the cause of this is due to the lithium-ion battery being punctured in some way or some flaw. It causes it to swell a little bit, and then there is something inside it that causes it to puncture the outer casing, or it's just a weak casing and it detonates because pressure builds up and it acts like a bomb. It's one of the problems with lithium-ion chemistry is it reacts with oxygen, and it reacts violently, a massive exothermic reaction.
Right. I mean, I guess we need to get away from lithium, but haven't been able to do that yet.
Nope, I'm still taking it. No, I'm just kidding. And I shouldn't joke. Who knows? Anyway, so I hope they recover, and I hope there isn't any long-lasting harm to the officer. But I think that they should maintain wearing these for both officer and civilian safety, even though I don't like saying civilian safety in comparison to officers. They are not active duty military.
Right.
Okay.
Basically regular people.
Yeah, they're civil servants that are doing a job. Shouldn't be civilians. And I'm the one that brought it up, so I guess I'm the dummy. Anyway, that's it for today. That is all 10 articles, including me recovering a flub. So we always hop into the party bus or in the police vehicle and race down Main Street, ohmTown PD, hoping that the cameras don't explode. I'd refresh the page, but I'm not gonna. Normally I do it, but hey, look, if not for the flub, we would have done it in an hour on the dot.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Anyway, and because I messed that up here, let me throw that link into the VOD. There you go. Ta-da. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. I am Mayor Watt, and all around ohmTown is the sentient AI from the future.
Good night, ohmTown citizens.
That was time travel ASMR.
I was going to ask what type of ASMR that was.
ASMR.